This is a true life story of Emeka, a man who became wealthy in the twinkling of an eye and started to live a double life. He found his wealth in the most unexpected place, and lost his life almost immediately. Before Emeka became the mysterious millionaire with flashy cars and designer clothes, he was nothing. Less than nothing. He was a ghost walking through Lagos streets, invisible to everyone except hunger itself. For 3 years, Emeka hawked bottled water in the brutal Lagos traffic. Under the scorching sun, with sweat pouring down his face like tears, he'd weave between cars shouting, "Water! Ice-cold water!" His voice had become hoarse, his spirit broken. Some days, he'd sell only 2 bottles. Other days, nothing at all. But selling water was just one of his many struggles. Every morning at 4 a.m., he'd wake up on a thin mattress in a room he shared with 4 other men. The rent was always overdue, the electricity always cut, and breakfast was a foreign concept. His stomach had become a hollow drum, beating rhythms of desperation. When the traffic died down, Emeka would rush to construction sites, begging for manual labor. He'd carry cement bags that weighed more than his hopes, his back screaming in agony. His hands, once smooth, had become roadmaps of calluses and cuts that never healed. Evenings brought no relief. He'd clean gutters filled with filth, wash cars for drivers who barely acknowledged his existence, run errands for anyone with spare change. His shoes had holes so big his toes touched the ground, and his clothes were more patches than fabric. The worst part wasn't the physical pain. It was the invisibility. People looked through him like he was air. Women crossed the street to avoid him. Children pointed and laughed. He had become society's forgotten man, surviving on scraps and broken dreams. Then came the night that changed everything. Emeka was returning home after another fruitless day when he collapsed near a garbage dump in Victoria Island. He hadn't eaten in 2 days, and his body simply gave up. As he lay there, contemplating whether life was worth living, a sleek black SUV pulled up. A well-dressed man stepped out. This was Mr. Biodun, a man whose expensive cologne couldn't quite mask something sinister underneath. "You look like someone who needs opportunity," Biodun said, his voice smooth as silk but cold as December harmattan. "I have a job for you. Easy money. Very easy." Emeka struggled to sit up, his pride wrestling with his desperation. "What kind of job?" Biodun smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Collection work. Garbage collection. But not ordinary garbage. I need someone to collect used baby diapers. Only baby diapers. Nothing else." The request was so strange, so disgusting, that Emeka almost laughed. "Baby diapers? From garbage? 20,000 naira per bag. And I need at least 5 bags weekly." Emeka's world stopped spinning. 20,000 naira per bag? That was more than he made in 2 months hawking water. His stomach growled as if voting on the decision. "But why baby diapers?" Biodun's expression darkened for just a moment. "That's not your concern. Are you interested or not?" Desperation won. It always does. That night, Emeka found himself in upscale neighborhoods, wearing a fake sanitation worker uniform Biodun had provided. His first stop was an estate in Lekki. The smell hit him first. The overwhelming stench of soiled diapers made him gag, but the thought of money kept him going. He searched through garbage bins like a man possessed, collecting every used diaper he could find. The degradation was complete, but when Biodun paid him the next day, Emeka felt something shift inside him. The money was real. The opportunity was real. Within 3 months, Emeka had transformed his life. He moved to a better apartment, bought new clothes, even got a car. But he kept his daytime water-selling routine as a cover. Nobody suspected that the struggling hawker was becoming wealthy from midnight garbage runs. His operation expanded. He hired street children to scout locations, bribed security guards for access to exclusive estates, and even created fake collection schedules to avoid suspicion. The money flowed like a river, and Emeka swam in it greedily. But easy money always comes with questions he chose not to ask. Why did Biodun always emphasize freshness? Why did he want specific types of diapers? Why did their meetings happen in abandoned buildings? Emeka pushed these thoughts away, buried them under luxury and denial. The twist came 18 months later. Emeka was finishing his rounds in a new estate when he heard voices from a nearby building. Curiosity, that fatal human flaw, made him creep closer. Through a window, He saw Biodun with other men, but these weren't businessmen. They wore traditional white robes and had scarification marks on their faces. The baby items are crucial for the ritual, one was saying. Fresh essence for money sacrifice. The spiritual power in these diapers feeds the gods of prosperity. Emeka's blood turned to ice. Ritual? Money sacrifice? The words hit him like physical blows. Our client needs another ceremony next week, Biodun replied. The politicians are paying well for financial breakthrough rituals. The horrible truth crashed over Emeka like a tsunami. He wasn't just collecting garbage. He was supplying materials for ritual practices. His wealth was built on the spiritual exploitation of innocent babies. Every diaper he'd collected had been used in ceremonies he couldn't even imagine. He stumbled backward, his mind reeling. All those months of luxury, all that money, all that pride in his transformation, it was all tainted. He had become an unwitting participant in practices that violated everything he believed. But the story doesn't end there. It gets darker. As Emeka tried to process this revelation, his phone rang. It was his younger sister, Adunni, calling from their village. "Brother, something terrible has happened. My baby, little Kyoma, she's been sick since last week. The native doctor says someone has been using her spiritual essence for rituals. He says items connected to her have been taken by evil people." The phone slipped from Emeka's trembling hands. His own niece. His own family. The cosmic justice was too perfect, too cruel. That night, Emeka confronted Biodun. The confrontation was explosive. "You never told me it was for rituals," Emeka shouted. Biodun laughed coldly. "You never asked. You only cared about the money. Don't pretend to have conscience now. I'm done. I won't collect anymore. You think you can just walk away? You know too much. Besides, you're addicted to the money. You'll be back." But Emeka was already walking away, leaving his lucrative nightmare behind. The consequences were swift and brutal. Within weeks, his world collapsed. The money he'd made couldn't buy peace of mind. He couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't look at babies without seeing the weight of his actions. His family in the village continued to suffer mysterious illnesses. His sister's baby grew sicker. The community eventually discovered his double life. The revelation spread like wildfire. The same people who once ignored him now pursued him with fury. He was labeled a ritualist, a child exploiter, a man who sold innocent souls for money. Emeka lost everything. His apartment, his car, his reputation, his peace. But worse, he lost his family's trust. His sister disowned him. His mother refused to see him. He had gained the whole world and lost his soul. Years later, if you drive through Lagos streets, you might see him again. A broken man hawking bottled water, but this time by choice. He uses every naira he earns to support children's charities, trying to atone for his past. The money he makes honestly is little, but it's clean. The lesson, my friends, is eternal. Easy money is never easy. It always comes with a price. Desperation can make us blind to morality, but ignorance is not innocence. When opportunity knocks, we must ask not just how much, but at what cost. Emeka's story reminds us that some fortunes are too expensive for the soul to afford. In our quest for wealth, we must never compromise our humanity. For what profit is there in gaining the whole world but losing yourself? The next time you're tempted by easy money, remember Emeka. Remember that the price of prosperity should never be paid with your conscience. Some secrets are too heavy for the heart to carry, and some wealth is too dark to enjoy. Smash that like button if this story taught you something valuable. Subscribe for more life-changing African folktales that will open your eyes. Share this story with someone who needs to hear this powerful lesson. What would you have done in Emeka's position? Share your thoughts, and remember, true wealth comes not from what we gain, but from what we refuse to lose.